All right, it's 2024. That means we got to pick up some new habits. One habit that you can pick up that will be absolutely essential and help you thrive is to learn something new every day. In fact, probably learn multiple things every day. This is something I adopted last year and have been spending so much time doing, whether it's with my own podcast, talking to people, learning new information, or it's researching on my own time, watching other podcasts, watching informative videos, reading books, reading articles, reading studies. All of these enlighten your mind. They really do. And they've expanded my consciousness so much. And it's such a beautiful process. People always ask me about what I think about school. And, I never really enjoyed school. And I tell them that I dislike it. And people immediately say, "Oh, so you don't like learning?" And I go, "No, I absolutely love learning. The problem with when I went to school is that I didn't actually learn anything." So what I always tell people is, aside from the basic reading and writing skills that I learned when I was in elementary school and maybe some, basic skills with speaking and stuff like that, I credit 95% of my knowledge to read my own research, experiences, conversations, etc., that I participated in on my own time outside of school. Right, and this is kind of a sad concept because obviously the idea of school is such an enlightening idea. Everybody goes to a place to learn new things. Problem is, I didn't really learn anything. I mean, obviously we can all sit here and say, oh, the general math concepts and all the other subjects, we're not really using them in our lives, right? So it's a giant waste of time. Point is, research on your own time. You may be in school right now or you're not in school anymore. Whether you're in middle school or high school, this is the essential time to start researching and learning new knowledge. If you're in college, well, I hope to God that you're studying something that you're actually going to use with your life, right? Because if you're in college and you're not learning anything useful, well, that's just another unfortunate scenario. But if you can take time out of your day, and I would say scrolling on Instagram Reels and TikTok isn't going to grant you too much, but there also are some gems on there. There's a lot of good creators who will spit really good information that you can use with your life. But the problem is, most of us scroll on TikTok or Instagram Reels and don't actually, we may watch a video that gives us good content and information, but we usually just keep scrolling and we don't actually use that information, right? So that's the issue. So the big purpose and what we need to do when we learn the new information is incorporate it, right? Learn something new, make sure it sticks in your mind, write it down, write something about it, expand your consciousness. If it's some sort of new practice or habit, try it for 5 minutes today and see how it goes. Maybe it's something that you're going to want to permanently incorporate into your life in a daily routine. But you don't want to get stuck in the habit of what I got stuck in, of learning new information but not using it. Right, so a lot of the times I would, be watching a ton of YouTube videos and feel like I was being productive and doing something, but at the end of the day, I wasn't actually doing anything. I was learning some stuff, right? The knowledge was still in my mind, but some of it got lost because I wasn't actually talking about it with anyone or putting it into practice in my own life, allowing myself to have experiences with it. And then you taking information, having experiences with it, will help you gain even more knowledge when you put it into practice, right? Rather than just learning something and not actually using it. So we got to make sure we learn and we use this information so that we can actually make a difference in our lives. Typically, when I learn the new information, I'll talk about it with people, especially on the podcast that I run. Hey, I learned something the other day. I'll bring it up on the podcast. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this quote, etc.? And then they give me their opinion, and then it's like, oh, well, I never really thought about that before. And then we expand the conversation, and we both learn new things, right? And this is a beautiful process. And going along with this, another thing that you can do this year that will severely level up your life is have conversations that you've never had before. Right? Get out of your comfort zone. And this is something that I've been working on probably over the past 6 months to 9 months, around there, that I've really been trying to do this more. People that you already have in your life, try having a conversation with them about something that you may not think that they would be able to have the conversation about. But I mean, sometimes we delude ourselves into saying, well, they wouldn't want to talk about that, but we never actually tried to bring it up, right? And so it may be a complete illusion, and you may bring it up, and you may have a great conversation about it. They offer great insight, great advice, great input. You just have a good time talking about it, right? But it's easy to say, oh, well, no, they just wouldn't want to talk about it. Well, you might not know, right? And I ran into this issue a lot. I was always like, oh, well, they can't offer me advice and I'm not going to talk about it with them. Well, you don't really know until you try, right? So that's something that I've definitely really learned. And having the difficult conversations, too, with people that you need to have. Somebody continually bothers you about the certain little habit that they do when you guys are together, bring it up to them. In a nice way, of course, and in a productive way. Maybe you can come to a resolution. But if you don't try, then you won't come to a resolution, and the action that they do will keep happening, and there will be zero room for improvement because you'll never have said anything, right? And if you can have difficult conversations with people, then, it may spark an argument or it may take time to resolve it, but the point is, you probably will resolve it, as opposed to not saying anything, and then let's say you're in a romantic partnership with this person, let's say you spend the rest of your life with them, for the next 5+ years, they're going to keep doing that. It's going to keep pissing you off. It's going to keep annoying you. And it's never going to change because you never let them know that you're not okay with that or it bothers you a little bit, right? And, there's a decent amount of things that, I could do or you could do or people could do where someone could say to us, hey, I don't really like that you do that. And we could look at ourselves and be like, yeah, maybe that isn't a great thing that I do, and then change it. Right? And this may take time. But if we're open to change, well, then we can allow our relationships to prosper. Because it's very easy to just sit in your mind or talk badly about someone behind their back to someone else. So you can't believe that John did this or she said that. And it's just, well, there's zero productivity in that, right? You complain about it, you get your feelings out, and nothing changes. Whereas if you were able to control your emotions and express your feelings to the actual person who was doing the action or bothering you, then maybe you can find a solution and everything can be better. But you'll never know if you don't try, and this goes along with absolutely everything in life. If you do not try, you don't know what the outcome will be. And you can make up as many scenarios that you'd like to in your mind about, oh, no, if I say this, then they're going to say this, and this is going to happen. Or if I don't say it, then this is what's not going to happen. And you just come up with all these scenarios of, okay, this is what the outcome is going to be. And some people can be decently predictable. Maybe you've had a bunch of experiences similar to the idea of the experience you're having now. So you think when you bring it up to them, it's going to elicit that response from them and that certain outcome. You can't guarantee it. People aren't completely predictable. In fact, a lot of the times we can be unpredictable, and unpredictable doesn't necessarily mean bad. Could be in a good way. You could predict that someone may react negatively, but in reality, if you actually gain the courage to talk about it with them, you may find that they actually elicit a positive response. And like, oh yeah, you're right, or oh, I could try to work on that, or you come to a solution together, right? Point is, you have to try, because if you don't know what's going to happen. And this doesn't just relate to, I just said, this relates to everything in life. Try with yourself. You've been thinking about picking up a new hobby. You don't really like the life direction the course that your life is taking right now. You don't really like studying this. You don't like working this job. You don't like the people you're surrounding yourself with. Try and find ways to change some things. You may not change everything overnight. In fact, you probably won't change everything overnight ever. It might take a little bit of time, but this is time well spent, because your life will be better after you spend time figuring out how to change these things. And it's very easy to just escape everything and get distracted with certain types of addictions or certain pleasurable experiences, because that's easier than making actual changes in your life, right? This is the trap that a lot of people fall into, especially young people my age, which is even worse than people who are older, because when we're young, we have so much opportunity and just so much potential, because we're a young mind, we're still being influenced by the world, we're learning new things. But it's really a shame that the majority of people my age just, waste their time partying 4 times a week plus, and getting messed up, and that's fun. Now you can do that, but I haven't really been able to see many people who have been able to do that and then gain a bunch of success after. And I don't mean success in the sense of just making $1 million a year. Success can be monetary and a certain degree of external success. But what I would say real success is you thriving within. If you're escaping your reality to go party 4 times a week, you're escaping your reality within, you're escaping yourself, your emotions, your experiences, the work you're doing in your life, the school you're in, right? We don't want to do this. We don't want to the goal of life is to create a life for ourselves that we do not want to escape from. If you want to escape from your life and you find yourself stuck in all these addictions, it's probably because you're not doing something that you enjoy with your life. And most of the time, whatever addictions that we are having, usually isn't just the addiction. But if you're addicted to smoking or drinking or porn or hooking up with people, the list goes on. It's usually not that exact action like that you're purely addicted to of just because it's pleasurable. It's usually something much deeper. Like, for example, the example I gave of partying. A lot of people my age may be in school. They don't know why they're in school. They don't really enjoy what they're studying. They're just kind of there because their parents, for example, told them they needed to go, or everyone else is going, so they're going. And they're not finding that they enjoy it. I'm not saying this is everyone. I'm just giving this as an example. They find that they don't enjoy it, so they take 4 nights out of their week to go and get messed up and enjoy themselves. But really what this is them escaping their reality because they're not enjoying what they're studying, they're not enjoying what they're doing with their time. So they find that these pleasurable actions and activities, it's a coping mechanism to make yourself feel better about yourself and your life, right? But of course, these are very short-term pleasures that lead to long-term regret. Because if we can't deal with our actual issues, we'll become addicted to anything that comes in our path, right? When these people, when they graduate school, they'll find something else to be addicted to. They'll start going to the bar by themselves and getting drunk and, being that guy, right? They'll be that guy. And this is sad, right? And what I find even more just so fucking upsetting about it is that this is the norm, right? People look at you and they think you're weird if you don't drink all the time and you don't party. Now, some people can accept it, right? Those are the people you want to spend your time around, even if they do it. But you don't do it, but they can still respect that you don't do it, right? I meet a bunch of cool people who are always like that. The point is, this is the norm. It's the norm to destroy your body and your mind at an young age because it's fun. It's fun. You're young, you have to have fun, right? And people will usually say, okay, oh, you don't drink, you don't smoke, oh, you just can't have any fun. I would say over the past year, I've been a lot more open, especially in public settings, about expressing my more goofier side, you can say, or lighthearted side, or just not taking things as seriously, right? I'm a pretty serious person. I talk about this stuff all the time, and I live my life in a certain way that's, pretty serious, and I like to get things done. But I've also, developed the ability to let go. But I usually don't use alcohol and smoking and partying all the time as my fun. Right, my fun, fun a lot of times does reside within the work that I'm doing. Like when I'm recording a video right now, I feel good, right? I'm not trying to escape from this. I'm in the moment right now. I'm just saying whatever comes to my mind. I'm expressing that, and I'm hopefully helping some people in the process. Right? This is actually fun to me, and shooting podcasts is fun. Playing the drums is fun. You need to find out what that fun is for you that doesn't include the basic partying and drinking, because that's what everyone else is doing. Usually when you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're not going to end up happy, because most people are not happy. Right, so you got to find whatever it is for you. Like, for example, it may be picking up an instrument for yourself, or maybe exploring a different career path, or maybe looking into this job or starting this business. I can't tell you what it is because your life is different than mine. And that's a great thing, right? It's fucking beautiful that we're all so different. And we have different minds and different desires, different lives we want to build. What you have to do is just figure out what that is for you. Do some research, talk to some people who are in that niche that you might be interested in getting into, or people who play a certain instrument that you're thinking about picking up. You're like, hey, well, how'd you start out? And just ask people questions that are knowledgeable in the field, or watch certain videos or read certain books. And, it's not difficult. Now, the most difficult part is usually starting, right? Because it's, if you've gone so long without starting, it's like, okay, well, why am I going to start now? Or, how am I going to start? You get so in your head that you don't even start because you're thinking about perfecting it before you even start. That gets you stuck. But if you can start, make a few mistakes, maybe not see success within the first day, but if you can be consistent with something, whatever it is for you, or researching something, or getting involved in something, I promise you'll be successful with it, right? And what I mean by successful is, yes, you'll probably be able to gain money and finances in that realm along the way, but you'll be successful with it. Right? I have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. That's not the biggest amount of subscribers you could ever have, but I'm pretty satisfied with that. I started from zero. Most people start from zero. And you make progress with something and you feel good about it, especially if it's something you enjoy doing. Like I think it was a few weeks ago that I reached like the monetization on YouTube, and I've been doing YouTube for 1.5 years, and I haven't made until up a few weeks ago, I haven't made a single penny. Right? And now that I earn some money with it, I don't even think about it any differently, right? I'm still doing the same thing that I was doing before. And the point I'm making with this is that I know I'm passionate about this, and I know I enjoy doing it, because I did it for 1.5 years without getting paid a single penny. And even if I wasn't getting paid anything now, I would still be doing it. And if you can find something where that's how you feel about it, and you're able to do it, spend a lot of time doing it without even getting paid for it for a decent amount of time, that's how you know you're passionate about it. And that's how you know you fucking love it. I hope this helps. Enjoy your day.